Let me tell you something I wish somebody had told me on my first day. Being a spy is nothing like you see on TV. Showdowns in exotic locales, death-defying car chases, seemingly limitless food and beverage per diems. Those days are over. What we deal with is the collection and manipulation of information, plain and simple. And thanks to the wonders of telephone communication, we don't even have to leave our desks anymore. Is it fun? Not really. Does it pay well? Well, that depends on how long you've been here. But listen, if you keep your head down and do what's asked of you, 15, 20 years down the line, you could have a nice looking corner office just like this one. Heated underground parking, too. Not too shabby, is it?
I'd rather be a real spy, thanks.
A real spy is someone who gets their information undetected and unseen. No better way to do that than through a telephone. What's your name again?
Numi Kovacs, but you can call me Nooms.
I think I'll pass on that one. As should you. Since it's your first day, let's see what they taught you in the academy. The woman we're about to call is Lacey Mendoza. She's a production manager at our latest competitor, Rev Inc. Our top engineer, a fellow by the name of Sebastian Cartwright, was working on a top secret project when he was abducted along with his plans. We're beginning to think that Cartwright might be involved in whatever they're doing over there at Rev, and possibly against his will. There's 3 things I'm going to need you to find out. 1. Where this test facility is located. 2. What's the easiest point of entry. And 3. Whether or not they have Sebastian. I pulled all the information I could on Lacey and compiled it in this scrapbook. It's not much, but it might help you gild the lily. Any questions?
What's Rev Inc?
No idea. There's nothing on the books to prove it exists. My guess is that it's just a front for one of the big boys.
Tell me more about Sebastian.
Brilliant engineer. Bit of an eccentric. Has a Jones for clean energy, whatever that is.
How do I use the scrapbook?
It's a scrapbook. You turn the pages with your hands and look through it with your eyes. Then your eyes take what they see to your brain, and your brain uses that to come up with ideas. Though maybe not in your case.
Any advice?
Get her to trust you. Pretend to be someone from her past. Someone she cares for but hasn't kept in touch with. Old classmate, former co-worker, that sort of thing. Whatever you do, don't pretend to be a loan manager. You won't make it past hello.
Enough talk. Let's call her up.
This is an important mission, so make it count.
Bliss and blessings unto you and yours. This is Lacey. Who's speaking?
This is Sheila Arbogast from the London branch.
The London branch of what?
The, thing you do, your company.
First of all, we're not a company, we're a community. And secondly, we don't have a London branch, but we will.
Don't talk specifics unless you know them to be true. Let's give it another try.
Bliss and blessings unto you and yours. This is Lacey. Who's speaking?
This is Lindsay Fellows from Falcon Crest Fiduciary. We're calling about your student loan repayment.
Will you people ever give up? I'll pay you back when I'm good and ready. Until then, leave me alone.
If you want to get information from a mark, it's usually best if you pretend to be someone they want to speak to. How about you do a different voice and try it again?
Bliss and blessings unto you and yours. This is Lacey. Who's speaking?
Only the best roommate you've ever had.
Clara? You sound really different.
So do you. I actually thought you were a man when you first picked up.
Really? Well, it's probably just a bad line or something.
That's probably it.
You're not with Docilio, are you?
Who's Docilio?
Never mind. We've just had a lot of outside interference lately, and we need to be extra careful about who we speak to. So if you really are Clara, I'm going to need some proof. Why don't we start with you telling me the address of our old apartment?
.376 University Ave.
Actually, that was the address for my college dormitory. How could you possibly know that?
I remember everything. You must have told me at some point.
Well, if you remember everything, then you should remember the address that we lived at for 4 years together. What was it?
.42 Overlook Terrace.
Wow, it really is you! But how on earth did you get this number?
I found it on your patent application.
Why would you be looking at patents? You're a school teacher.
Well, one of my favorite ways to pass the time these days is just to head down to the Patent Bureau and catch up on all the latest filings. It's sort of like going to the World's Fair, only free and a lot more boring.
I know what's going on here. You're a docilite, aren't you?
I don't even know what that is.
Nice try. But once our work is complete, we'll tear away your vile masks and free the world of your meddling once and for all. Beware the wrath of Rev. Beware!
So, it looks like you've unleashed the crazy. Not exactly what I was hoping for, but amusing nonetheless. Why don't you take a coffee break and then get started on some light clerical work? I think that's more your speed.
So, what should I call you? Barney? Mr. Turner?
Folks around here call me Turn.
Does that mean they're going to start calling me Kova?
No.
All right. Good talk. When's our next case?
We don't have a next case. That phone call was a taste of what you might get to do in a few years, after you pay your dues.
I've done 4 years of espionage school. I've paid my dues.
Company policy. All outside intelligence employees must have 2 years experience before accepting missions. No exceptions.
Let's go on one of your missions then. A real one, out in the field.
I haven't done field work since I was with the government. If you ask me, waste of time.
You were a government agent. Like the kind that kill people and blow stuff up?
I was, but that was a decade ago, and I don't really like to reminisce.
Why? Did you get fired?
Where did you hear that?
I didn't. I'm just wondering why someone would quit such a cool job to work for a car company.
That's really none of your business. And if I was fired, I wouldn't be able to tell you.
I'm pretty sure you'd be able to tell me if you didn't get fired.
I shouldn't have even told you that I worked there in the first place.
Ah, is that why you got fired?
None of your business.
You got fired. Is there any chance we might be called in to do field work?
The only way you would be called in to do field work is if every agent in this office were to become incapacitated.
So, like if I made them all sick or got them to quit? Something like that?
Are you planning something?
No, I'm just a very curious person.
Why don't you go be curious somewhere else?
I'm gonna go get some coffee.
Suit yourself.
Nice haircut.
Better times.
Have you ever thought about growing it back?
Every single day.
Not much competition in this Employee of the Month game, is there?
Not as long as I'm around.
I have to use the bathroom.
Thanks for the update.
Hi, I'm Numi Kovacs.
Well, 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 you must be the latest Oi boy.
Oi?
Outside intelligence? O-I? Oi. Listen, kid, if you want to stand out and be seen as spectacular, it's best that you take to our office vernacular. Let me introduce myself. Hab Applecott's the name. Equipping agents is my claim to fame. You need gadgetry, you come to me. Forgery, too, I'll make you an honorary degree.
Do you have any advice on how I can get some field work?
Around here, that's unfortunately Horace's domain. And between you and me, that's a downright shame. He won't use my inventions, says he's found better kinds. But that's only because he pockets everything he finds. If I were in charge, I'd send him on a permanent vacation. A turn won't do it. I think he fears retaliation.
Could you help me replace Horace in the field?
Well, Horace is more a pain than I'd like to admit. Too loose with his lips and totally lacking in wit. But going out on a limb for a perfect stranger? Why, a stunt like that could put my job in danger.
I promise to return the favor.
And what makes you think you'll be around to repay? Turns fired assistants after only 1 day.
I'll charm him with my good looks.
Turn hasn't shown interest in anyone in years. Giving an answer like that just confirms all my fears.
I'm super strong, like a bull.
A scrapbook is all that you need to be lifting. Muscles won't make you better at grifting.
have no social life, so I'm always free to work well into the night.
Considering you're getting paid by the hour, that's not exactly a superpower.
I'm smart, practically a genius.
Intelligence is something that one has to prove. All right, go ahead and make your first chess move.
QB8 to QB7.
There's a pawn in that spot, you crazy cretin. One move in and you're already beaten.
How about a game of checkers instead?
That right there's an amusing joke, but I won't stick my neck out for the intellectually broke.
The peanut is neither a pea nor a nut. It's a legume.
Intelligence and knowledge aren't one and the same. Just spitting out trivia is both boring and lame.
What can I say to impress you today?
There's a step in the right direction. Keep bringing the rhymes and you might pass inspection.
I'll stand here for weeks on end, if that's what it takes to call you friend.
You've impressed me thus far, but how long can that last?
As long as it takes, I'll always outlast.
Rhyming a word with itself is a very weak move. If you want to impress me, you better improve. Let's try again. You've impressed me thus far, but how long can that last?
I'm a visitor from the future, not one from the past.
The context of that doesn't make any sense. You're starting to come off a little bit dense. Let's try again. You've impressed me thus far, but how long can that last?
When you find out the answer, you'll be somewhat aghast.
When it comes to Western poetry, you're clearly a beast. Now, how about a form that began in the East? The syllable count of 575 is a perfect way to keep the brain cells alive. Now, with a haiku, I'll be impressed through and through, and maybe help you.
We know what you need, so don't worry your dumb head, the early birds say.
Your poetic prowess has left me feeling quite odd. As a man of my word, I'll assist with your fraud. This fake ID should serve you just fine, but if anyone asks, the hands that made them were not mine.
Will this give me access to the photocopier?
Without an official tracker, there's little that card can do. If you want real privileges, you might try a switcheroo.
Who's gonna be dumb enough to fall for that?
Check another floor if you can't find someone nearby. As long as you stay persistent, you're sure to find your guy.
Thanks, Hab.
Well, hit the floor. She's back for more.
What's the deal with Turn? He seems a little off.
He was once a federal field agent, considered one of the best, but was fired for sending his partner on a self-serving quest. He took most of the flak, was temporarily jailed, and ever since then his career's been derailed. You'd be cranky too if that happened to you.
What's with all the rhyming?
Most of my work is pretty mundane. Speaking like this keeps me from going insane.
I've got to go, but thanks for your help.
If you need anything else, just give me a yelp.
Looks like I'll need a key card to get this thing to work. Outside Intelligence is looking to start a competitive Jai-Alai team to play against the Bellows Bloodhounds. What the heck is Jai-Alai?
It's pronounced highlight.
What the heck is High-Lie?
If you don't even know what it is, you're not welcome on the team.
Safety notices, inter-office dating policies. Not much about this place seems to spell adventure. Locked. Looks like it needs a passcode.